Hey, small business owners, wait. Do not implement AI until you watch this video. Hey everyone, Antonio Thornton, the Profit Engineer here, back with another installment of Practical AI, where we help your company get faster, smarter, and better with the power of AI. And today, I'm going to talk with you about what you need to think about before jumping into any form of artificial intelligence. You know, I get this question all the time, and as a quick aside, don't you hate when people say, I get this question all the time? But no, I actually do get this question all the time. Here's a text message I got from a client that was asking me this. She says, hello, what are some of the ways I can add AI to my business? For example, speeding up the contract creation process, implementing other processes with AI, bringing on new clients, etc. And my answer is typically always the same thing, and that is it's impossible to answer that question without knowing more about your business. And this is so important to consider because as a small to medium-sized businesses, you may hear corporations throwing hundreds of millions of dollars, if not billions, into AI. And they're doing that because they can. But what we're finding is that smaller to mid-sized businesses are actually harming their businesses by trying to implement AI without an actual strategy. And this is one of the reasons why having an AI consultant is so critical for the success of implementing AI in your business. Here's the reality. Not every business is the same. You could take two businesses that on the surface look exactly the same. For example, you know, this client is that I just showed you is a copywriter. But if you took two separate copywriting services, you would assume that, well, if one copywriting service does this one thing, then the other copywriting service does the same thing. But that's not true. This company actually prefers to do copywriting consulting, and they actually have a membership program for their clients to learn how to do copy themselves. But this other copywriter charges their clients to write the copy for them. And that's a huge, huge difference. You know, one is driving people to a membership and the other one is not. So though they're both copywriting companies, they run their businesses very differently and they would actually implement AI very differently. So it's virtually impossible to just say, do this with AI. And I don't recommend just trying to slap some AI tool in place just because some guru said do it or because that tool had some launch this week. You could actually be doing yourself more harm than good. You want to look at AI as another tool to help solve a problem within your business, whether that problem be your reach, efficiency, customer experience, or whatever. AI is simply a tool that helps solve problems in your businesses. And one of the things I love to say is that the best way to implement AI is by not implementing AI. It's actually understanding how your business runs and identifying the problems, the bottlenecks in your business, even before thinking about implementing AI. We find a lot of people will find a tool or they hear about a thing and they try to force their business into that AI solution, whereas you should be looking at AI as a tool to help fix whatever or improve whatever's going on in your business. Even beyond the problems, you want to think about what are your values in your business? What are the things that are most important for you? A great example is another client of ours who's a financial services company. And one of the things they wanted to do with their advisors is to get them doing more prospecting. And also they wanted to help make the client proposal process a lot easier because it was a bottleneck in their company. I think they were spending about 15 hours per week just doing these proposals. So we did an assessment with them and we identified that the proposal process was a place we could provide better automation and efficiency. What was happening is that their advisors were getting on the phone, asking the new clients questions and going back and forth, and sometimes they had to call them back. And we saw that as an inefficiency that we could address. So what we did was we automated the proposal process. In fact, you could actually take a look at it here. As you can see, this proposal gathers all this information and it asks them a whole multitude of questions in a very easy and non-confrontational way. And it takes them through the process on their own. And here's the cool thing about it. Not only does this process guide the client through, it allows them to do it at their convenience. They can do this at 3 o'clock in the morning. obviously when an advisor is not working at that time, but that creates efficiency. But here's the other cool thing about it. So the client fills out all this data, and we have calculations going on in the background, and it gives them a completely precise quote for this financial advisory company. Now, why is this important, and why do I go back to values? One of the things as financial advisory firm is that they are a fiduciary. And when you become certified as a fiduciary, there are certain obligations you have to your clients. And one of those is to make recommendations that are in the best interest of your clients versus the product of the week or the highest commission thing for that advisor. So not only does this process make it easier for clients, it also gives the clients the comfort and the peace of mind knowing that they're not being gouged. They know the recommendation is based on their situation and not just a product that the company is trying to push. They have their best interests at heart. And separately, what this does is that this saves the firm's advisors about 15 hours per week. 15 hours. Think about that. When you have a lot of high-paid financial advisors and you're saving them 15 hours a week from doing proposals, what does that do for your company? That can triple or quadruple your revenue, because now you've got your advisors spending more time on the things that make more sense for the company, like prospecting, right? So some of the other things you want to consider when looking at AI is how tech savvy is your team? Are you working in the field where AI would become more disruptive for learning than not? And this can happen. So when you're considering AI, you have to look at all of these things before just trying to force AI into your company. And this is where an AI consultant becomes invaluable for you. And just for clarity, AI consultants, like our virtual chief AI officer services, we're not just, tech geeks. We're business technology translators. We speak both the language of business objectives and artificial intelligence and technical capabilities, and we bring those two together. And a good consultant doesn't start by just recommending tools. They start by asking questions and actually listening to what's going on in your business, finding out what makes you tick, finding out where your bottlenecks are and what will actually move the needle in your business. So you might be interested in operational efficiencies, whereas another company might be more interested in expanding their marketing outreach through automation. And if you remember, AI implementation is not just about following trends. It's about a thoughtful integration aligned with your business vision. Some businesses need AI for customer service automation. Some might need it for inventory management. Some might use it for predictive analysis. And these are all of the different things that AI can bring to your company, but trying to implement them all is a big mistake without really learning what your business needs are. The key to that is having that initial conversation with someone who understands both worlds, someone who's willing to look at your business and evaluate your business holistically, not just trying to sell you some technology that you don't need, not just trying to force tools down your throat, not just trying to squeeze your business into a tool, but allowing that tool to be an asset to your business, or else AI can become a very expensive distraction. Your business deserves an AI approach that's as unique as you are. So take the first step, have that conversation, and not just a conversation with an AI consultant, but even a conversation with yourself, with your team, identifying where your bottlenecks are, identifying where the repetitive tasks are, asking your team or your employees, what are the things you guys do over and over? What are some of the things you guys hate doing? What are the things that you guys make the most mistakes on? And when you identify these things, these are the places that you can look at having AI fill in the gaps. And from there, you can start outlining an AI solution that works for your company. And of course, we're more than happy to help. And as always, smash that like and subscribe button. Talk to you soon.